I don't think a guy's goal on a first date should be to impress the woman.
I had no intention, I had no job, I had nothing.
The truth is, women give the worst relationship advice known to man.
They literally are trying to turn us into men right before our own very eyes.
Oh, the hardest part of dating right now is the fact that I'm just so much cooler than these men, so much more funny than them, so much more good looking.
This is why real high value men will go after single moms.
Examples of men not being able to handle being subjected to content that caters to women.
You know what? My husband is the one that asked me to come on here. He said, you need to talk to these women. Tell them, give them some advice.
Yo, I need everybody. And I mean, I need everybody. Stop what you're doing right now. Go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Let's get into it.
I think a lot of men who have female friends get really bad dating advice from their female friends. A lot of women say, you should go above and beyond, get her flowers on a first date, like try to impress her. That's their point. I don't think a guy's goal on a first date should be to impress the woman. I think it should be to get to know the woman and vet her out and see if she's a good choice for a long-term relationship or whatever he's looking for.
Are you saying that the advice that you're referring to is specifically for obtaining a long-term relationship, or is this...
It could go for anything. Even if the guy is not even looking for a long-term relationship, he's not that type of guy, still, it comes down to attraction, what women are attracted to. Most women would not be attracted, even if they say they would be, to a guy who's putting all of his effort in right away from the first date. You know that he's doing that for every girl, so you're not even special. You know what I mean? If you meet a guy and he's kind of laid back at first, and then once you become more serious with him, he starts to put on more effort, then you know that you're actually special because he's willing to put in that effort for you. If he does that for anybody, it's not special.
Well, after I gave him the ultimatum, he just looked at me in my face and was like, if you feel like you need to move, move. And so we went through 3 months of like chicken, where I had no friends in Vegas, no family in Vegas. I just really blurted that out. I did not mean it. I had no intention. I had no job. I had nothing. I had no plans on moving to Vegas. I thought I was going to force this man to propose to me. For 3 months, he was like, do what you got to do. You want to move, move. So the last day I was putting my stuff in the car, he came over and helped me put my stuff in the car. And we putting stuff in the trunk, and I just started crying. I'm like, you really going to let me leave?
I don't know who that man is, but I need to meet him and shake his hand. There are so many women, specifically like on social media. They'll tell you like, oh, you can make a man do this, you can make a man do that. You can't make a grown-ass man who pay his own bills and make his own decisions do a goddamn thing. That's what happened when y'all get to listen to y'all girlfriends too much. Give him an ultimatum. Give him an ultimatum. That grown-ass man, I will help you pack. All right. Girl started helping her put her shit in the trunk. Oh, she was sick.
Exhibit A of why I will never, ever believe a woman that says she chooses to be single. I choose not to get married. You think that woman chose that? If women listen to their man the way they listen to their friends, relationships will be more successful. I honestly couldn't agree with this more, because the truth is, women give the worst relationship advice known to man. Women's female friends tend to have the same biased, subjective, delusional, and distorted perceptions of relationships that they have, and they're often typically hating on their friend in the relationship. Many of these women's friends are single, and they want them to be single with them, and they'll tell them whatever they want to hear to make sure that they become single with them. When the easiest thing to do is to simply ask your man what he likes, what he dislikes, and what he thinks you can improve on to improve the relationship satisfaction. But what's interesting is a lot of men do indeed communicate what they like, what they dislike, and what they would like their woman to improve on. However, women tend to disregard it. And they disregard it because it's not what they want to hear or what they're willing to compromise or cooperate on, because it's not advantageous or beneficial to them. Because apparently it feels much better to hear he isn't shit, he doesn't deserve you, you deserve the world, rather than make the necessary adjustments and have the necessary accountability that it takes in order to actually improve your relationship.
They literally are trying to turn us into men right before our own very eyes. And the millennials, y'all better look out for the younger generation, because I'm telling you, between this, now we supposed to be cool with a man that could pay electricity bill while we go out here and pay all the bills. That means we can't be soft women. How can we be soft women and we're the ones out here working, taking care of our men? That's not going to work. So, now they also trying to make us cool with, treating men on dates and courting men and being the aggressor in a relationship damn near. Like they literally are trying to turn us into men right before. That was next for the black woman, that the black woman now got to become the black man to get a man. I mean, what is going on with us? There's no other woman in another community that's now being required to become a damn man to get her man. This shit don't make no sense, y'all. It's getting scary out here, for real.
Let's clear the air right now. We don't want you to be a man. We don't want that. We want you to be soft and feminine. But you mean to tell me that you don't want to pour into your man at all? You don't want to do nothing? You can't care and love on this man at all? You just want to sit there along for the ride, huh? All right, well, good luck.
Oh, the hardest part of dating right now is the fact that I'm just so much cooler than these men, so much more funny than them, so much more good looking, so much more exciting, and it's like, what am I getting in return? Nothing. 0 things, except for a meal, which I could have DoorDashed to my house if I really wanted to. So let's talk about it. What is the point of going on a date when you are just such a hot, fun, talented, smart, sexy, confident girl? I just can't deal anymore because the conversations with these men is literally so mundane that it hurts my head. It gives me a migraine. Either they're talking about their feelings from something that happened 15 years ago and you're like, you need to go to therapy for this because there's no reason it should still be bothering you from 15 years ago. Or they're talking about their accomplishments or achievements at work. Or they're just repeating stories that they've already told you and trying to make you laugh at them again, but it's like, you already told me the story and I already laughed at it. So I'm not going to laugh again because I don't like hearing repeat stories. Because at that point, I'm just stroking your ego and then I'm energizing you as a spiritual being and you're draining me as a spiritual being. And I don't think that's fair. So I would rather literally stay home and just be energized in my own spiritual being than be in the presence of someone that I feel like I have to lift up, because then they're dragging me down by me lifting them up. And baby, I'm not gonna let that happen. The only interactions that I have found personally that leave me feeling more energized than drained these days is with other women, but even that's draining sometimes. So I'm gonna say with one other woman. In the company of one woman is where I feel the most energized, which is probably very telling, but it's like, I'm not attracted to women and I can't change that. So I'm forced to be in the company of men, but then I can't be in the company of them because they drain me. So I just have to keep filtering them out until I find one that energizes me. But I don't even think that they know how to get to that spiritual level where they can energize someone in a conversation because they have not done the inner work. And so all their conversations are surface level. And it's starting to show and I'm really starting to feel it. And I'm really disappointed. I'm just really disappointed and I'm really over it.
Don't tell me y'all believed all that, right? I mean, did you hear all of the verbal diarrhea that was spewing up out of her mouth? At first, I was thinking like, man, it was like the previous video to where a man is bringing all this and doing that and doing this. And what does he get, right? And I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. But then she just kept going on and on and on. I mean, hey, I get it. Confidence is a stain that you can't wipe off. Have at it. You got to be your own cheerleader sometimes. But if you want to be with a woman, just be with a woman. Come on. 2025. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but it's not the 1820s. Go ahead and be with a woman, but don't give an excuse talking about you're so much better than all these men and they're draining your energy and your essence. Like, okay, be happy.
This is the worst dating advice women give to men. Let's get into it. The advice is to focus solely on your woman. Put all your energy, attention, time, resources, all into the woman that you are seeing, dating, in a relationship with, married to. That is the advice that is given. And that's wrong. And I'll tell you why. Guys, continue to have your life. Chase your dreams and purpose. Keep your hobbies. Keep doing the things you like to do. Maintain your healthy friendships. I'ma say this and mark my word. You losing yourself in the relationship, in her, will be the reason why you lose her. Unfortunately, I've seen it many times. A man putting all his time, energy, and resources into a relationship, a marriage, etc. And that woman takes him for granted, starts losing respect for him, and may eventually decide to leave the relationship, and his world starts to crumble because his world was her. And y'all, that just ain't healthy. Women tend to respect men that got other things going on.
This is why real high value men will go after single moms. Don't fight me on this because I'm a living proof. Not in my own life, but somebody that I know. A high value man knows his value and his worth and what he brings to a woman. There's going to be no child that is going to interfere with that. High value men want children, and real men are going to love children as their own, even if it's not their own. So you having a child is now an addition to their entire family that either they were seeking, that they wanted, or they were looking to create in the future. Now you have a child, and that's part of my family, and we're all a family. That's what a real high value man is. So if you ever hear a guy saying like, oh, you have a child, or, oh, I don't want nothing to do with that, that means one, they're not gonna love your child, and they're just looking at you as a piece of meat, not as their family. And number two, they probably don't have the means to take care of your child because they're broke bums and we don't want those men anyway. Now, mind you, I'm talking like I'm a single mom, but I know a lot of single mothers. And it doesn't always happen because you're irresponsible. It can literally happen. Get married, husband dies, now you're a single mother. Single widow, like whatever. But real, true, high value men are gonna be seeking or not avoiding someone because they're a mother. I think the real issue is that when people are dating and they're young, they're like, oh, I don't want to have a child and hang out with you at the same time. It's because they're children and they're not high value men, they're boys. Do not date these boys. You need to date men.
The spin doctor is in the building. Boy, she put those salad of words in there and boom. But I got a question for you, Doc. If a man is a broke bum or whatever you called him that doesn't want to take care of somebody else's responsibility, what do you call the person that wants others to take care of their own responsibilities? What does that make her, right? We all know by now multiple reasons why this high value man just doesn't want to deal with somebody that has kids that aren't his, right? But that's more long term. Look at the short term. If you want to go on a date, there's a lot of things to work around just to get to know you. So how is he a broke bum or he's selfish or he's not, whatever? You can name call all you want. He just wants you to be able to be free, be spontaneous, and have a little time for himself. And if you're out there being a mother, that's difficult. But hey, maybe it's just not in your cards to have a high value man. There's somebody out there for you. It just might not be the person with all the resources and all the time and a little bit of responsibility. It may be somebody that'll help take care of you. It may just be an average guy.
Examples of men not being able to handle being subjected to content that caters to women, even though women every single day have to endure content only made for men. The first category is just when they have to start seeing something made for women too much. And the obvious example is the Barbie movie. They were just so annoyed that Barbie was everywhere. They could not escape it, and that like people were talking about it more than Oppenheimer. This applies to any women-centric content that just becomes so popular that men have to start to hear about it more than they want to. Like this guy that made his wife put money in a jar every time she mentioned Taylor Swift. This happens anytime women just start to like something, start to talk about something enough that it seeps into men's consciousness. Like when we were all joking about girl math a few months ago, they were so mad that it was so popular, it was reaching them. Another category is when something men see as being made for them starts to be a little less made for them. Like when they made this female-centric Marvel movie and they lost their minds. They just think every piece of content should be geared towards them. Pro tips for launching successful movie geared towards guys. This is how they reacted when there was a female lead of a Marvel movie, which women also watch. This girl just went to see the movie and this person tweeted at her calling her fat and ugly. The same thing happened when they tried to put women in the Ghostbusters movie. Again, it doesn't matter if people think these movies are good or not. They were mad that they were made.
It doesn't matter if the movie was good or not. It doesn't matter if that movie was a flop. It matters that it was made. Well, rally up the girls and go see the movie then. Why are you trying to force a man to go see it?
This is the most ridiculous example, but I think it still applies. There were men who were mad that the brown M&M was being remade to be less sexy, less appealing to men. Like, why do the M&Ms have to cater to male gaze? They're just like, if my eyes have to see the brown M&M, she should be dressing for me. The issue is not that sports bars play sports. It's that male content is so omnipresent. The infrastructure is so readily available that you're always seeing content made for you that men cannot handle when content made for women comes across their TV, comes across their For You page. They act like babies.
She's not all wrong. I know you want me to get in here and try to rip her a new one, but she's not all wrong. Have you ever grabbed your lady's phone and just happened to look through the things that are in her algorithm? Did you look through whatever social media app is on there? I can't stand it. I can't stand the voices that I hear. It ain't for me. So she's not all wrong. I don't know what the Eminem thing was about, but she was pretty spot on the other things. I'm going to like the things that I like. I'm going to let my lady like the things that she likes. We don't have to mix and match.
You know what? My husband is the one that asked me to come on here. He said, you need to talk to these women. Tell them, give them some advice. But it feels like talking to my 19-year-old child when I talk to y'all. Because you have every excuse why what I'm saying doesn't work. The most common is you've been married 20 years, things have changed. Okay, if the men have changed, you haven't? You haven't changed for the better? No, you have not changed for the better. You are more miserable than you are before. You do not listen to your elders. You don't listen to anybody but social media. I want to be like Russell and Sierra. You don't even know them. But you could get on here and ask me any question you want to ask me, and I will try to answer it from my personal experience. But you don't want to listen to that. You want to sit there with your girlfriends and whine and cry about this, that, and the other, and they can't give you no advice. My daughters have come to me so many times and asked me, tell me stories. She loves to talk and just tell me this happened, that happened, that happened. You want me to tell you how this going to end? Do you want to know how this going to end? Well, this ain't going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to be. A, B, C, D. That's what's going to happen. And guess what? That's what happens. The story is the same, but the names have been changed to protect the innocent. You are not anything new. Your stories are not anything new. You just think you're going to change the story. No, it don't apply to me because I've already been picked. So you're not going to listen to me because I'm in a place where many women want to be. You're going to listen to the people that ain't nowhere near where you want to be. Because you can't talk to Russell and Sierra. You don't know them. So, but you want to wish on that. Name me somebody in a position that you could put your hands on and they can give you advice. Not somebody on social media. Not somebody that look like they doing what they doing. Because I have always been a devil's advocate when it comes to relationships. What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? This ain't gonna work. Make whatever excuse you want to make. Listen to whoever you want to listen to. But I am on here to help y'all out. Now, if you don't want to listen and you think my stuff is outdated, you go right on ahead and make that excuse. And then when the shit go bad, you can sit here and say, well, I don't understand why it went bad. Nobody told me anything. I tell y'all this the same way I tell my children. I'm going to tell you whether you want to hear it or not. Because I don't ever want you to say that nobody told you.
You could take them to the river, but you can't make them drink. What kind of sense does it make to take some advice and listen to somebody that's trying to build the plane while they're flying it? This person has already been there, done that. That's where you want to go. That's what you want to achieve. You think you would take a step back and listen to what they may have to say. And I need you to step back and hit that subscribe button on your way out. And I'll catch you on the next one.